All right, guys, welcome. It's another Monday night, which means it's another episode of Geeking Out. I am going to be your lead host for tonight, Ricky Z. Tamon, tell us where you're at.
You're muted, Tamon.
I had a sigil of something over me. I can speak. Hi, everybody. I'm Tamon Kane. I'm so excited to be here and chat about all things Agatha. I have some sound coming from somewhere. I don't know. Oh, there we go. All things Agatha. So I'm super excited that we are one step closer down the witch's road.
Yes. All right, Lucio.
Yeah, I'm at Lucy Man on all the stuff. Excited to be here, and I just need more Agatha. I do enjoy it being paced out an episode at a time, but also I'd like to just be done with it and have it all.
Well, yeah. So in case you didn't know, it's Agatha all month long for us. So I believe this episode and this last episode we are strictly talking Agatha, and then for the rest of the spooky season we're gonna sprinkle it in as we go along. But for the first 3 episodes, we're rocking out with Agatha because she's rocking with us. So as we go along, oh, echoes. All right. So as always, we have a game that you may use to drink something. Whether it be, something special or not. And and today the drinking game is Witch, of course, like last week. We're going to keep going with our drinking game. So whenever you hear the word witch of some form, and you will hear it a lot, go ahead and take a sip. So
I think, should we just start off?
I'm ready. I am ready.
This is, just so you're aware, cherry Pepsi.
There you go.
You take cherry Pepsi, you put grenadine in it. So it's just diabetes is what it is. That's what it is.
Okay, sure. We'll take that.
I love that. Well, so let's go ahead and before we go into the story, let's make sure you follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure when you go find us on YouTube, you like and subscribe. Push the button, little thumbs up. Push the little bell so you know when we come on. And you don't have to worry about trying to find our link anywhere. You get your notifications. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So first night, we had the episode 1 and 2 back to back. Talk about that. And so now we're going into the once a week up until the last episode. I think the last episode will be, the season finale will be 2 episodes. And so now we have our new coven.
Yes, we do.
We got our coven, and they are on their first trial on the Witch's Road. And before we even get to the first trial, our girl Sharon, bless her heart,
already was attacked. She just
right, already. No, she said this isn't right. Like, I'm on the school board and our Keep What's You Safe committee and
historical
right
historical committee.
She's on all the committees and all the boards, and she said this looks like our underdeveloped transportation system that we try to do.
I think there was some tea there as well. I think they were just drizzling something real light about the city of Westview and the foundation that it sits on. So I think that's important information.
Somebody was digging and they were like, nope, we ain't touching this no more.
Yeah, we're done here.
And this is a fail plan. We're going to not do that. So not even a good 10 steps in onto the road, Sharon decides to veer off and, try to go home. Gets lost in the woods. And then she gets stuck into some quicksand, some sinking mud.
It wasn't fun.
She said it was this is kidnapping. Was she referring to herself, or was she referring
yes,
okay.
She was referring to herself.
That was a little bit unclear. I was like, okay, got it.
I love that we are learning more about these witches, especially Sharon. We know she shops at Talbot because her
Very
bag,
much so.
so that's important.
If she was like 20 years younger, she'd totally be a Banana Republic girly.
She would. I could see her in her neutral. That's why in this first trial, she just felt right at home.
Oh, look, when we get to that part, she was vibing.
The upholstery.
Staring in this kitchen.
She was so crazy. And why do you sound like her? I'm really getting freaked out by this.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Keep going. It's perfect.
Yes, though, they get her out, and so Agatha says, first of all, don't veer off the path. Rule number 1, don't veer off the path.
Yeah. To the uninitiated, rule number 1. And then Sarah was like, yeah, like obviously.
Girl. Now, so shortly after that, so they're trying to figure out like what they need to be doing, what's the next step, where they need to go. And the teen, bright idea, he's like, hey, y'all, I know y'all don't have any powers. Some of y'all don't have any powers right now. What about some old-fashioned mixing, brewing, read a spell book?
Some
manual labor here.
Analog magic.
Analog magic. That was clever.
Analog magic. He still continues to be my favorite on the show.
I can tell based on your background.
I brought this out today. They needed this on the Witch's Road.
Something. And so now go ahead.
No. Go.
Oh, I did want to say. So I thought what was really interesting is like the first like 5 minutes of this, they drop a bunch of little snippets. It's like, oh, that's really important. Like when the teen says the thing about the analog magic, he also mentions. Oh, I just had it in my head. They were anyone with enough training can become a witch. Which I was like, oh, okay, that's like really important. That seems like a very important like piece of information. It seems like that like some of these women are naturally gifted or have like that in their background, but also like just anyone could be a witch. Which I think I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being important. Like
you would think that would be like a good indication that like Sharon would be important at some point. But
she was important enough to open the gate.
Yeah.
So she had enough magical power inside of her to do that. I do think it was great that they gave us more about the magical system. So that's what that is. Like anybody can be a witch. You have to be initiated. We found that out too.
Right.
All the things we expect from witch lore, but it's nice that they're painting that picture. And I think this Witch's Road is my favorite piece of lore so far.
Yes. One thing there, continuing to dangle is the identity of the teen. Who is the teen? Again, they are asking him questions about himself, and we get the little bloop across the mouth. Little bloop bloop. Is it a WM?
Yeah. MW.
MW something.
www.
something.
Not a URL.
The URL. It's a QR code over his mouth.
Right. Thank you. And so when that happens, everyone's kind of like, wait a minute. This is funny. Agatha, why didn't you share that this was a thing?
Yeah, immediately blaming her.
Right.
As they should.
Yeah.
She didn't really have enough time to like go into like a breakdown that, okay, by the way, he's also spelled. I don't know who he is. He can't tell me. She didn't even tell the team that he was spelled.
Right. Like he didn't know that he had a sigil on him.
Yeah. I'll give her a pass for that, even though I think she's whatever she's doing, based off that moment. I don't know if Agatha really has been
grains of salt. That's like you have to take what she says with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
like half the time, because you can't tell if she's being dubious or there's a sprinkle of truth in the things that she says here and there.
And she's doing a great job at her line delivery to where it's hard to determine what her motives are behind or her intentions are behind that line that she's going for, which I think is so great for Catherine. I don't know if she's really been on the Witch's Road.
I don't think she has. So she does this thing tonally with her voice where she has like normal person mode and then Agatha mode, which I think is like a persona that she has because she goes really high. She's like, okay, let's get on to this. I was like, it almost similar to like
Mary Poppins.
yeah, or I was thinking the mother from Bewitched.
Oh,
Angora.
Yeah,
Angora. Yeah.
where she has like this lilt and like higher pitch to her voice, where she's like, "Okay, I'm being a witch right now. This is my costume." And then there's like the somewhere in there, there's the other person. I don't know which one is the real one, but like this is the person that's like concerned and worried and like, trying to scheme.
Yeah, you have to like decide whether or not like in each of her scenes if whether or not she's being the caricature of herself
Mm-hmm.
or she's being like genuine. And like you get to see some of those moments throughout this episode where she's genuinely like caring in certain ways or like a smidgen of empathy for someone. It's very
Or
small,
being a
very minute
problem.
if you squint.
Yeah, or being a problem, which is most of the time.
I don't
Right.
know, y'all. I want to also highlight, and we're not sort of just to highlight how protective she was over the team at certain points
Yes.
of this story, particularly before we even get to the trial. She was like having him jump back, standing here, even seeing her standing in front of him. It's very maternal, which I'm saying that because I think that's a very clear misdirect in what they're trying to do. But I was just wanting to highlight that before we tip into the house.
Right, well, because she mentions like you see that maternal side of her, but also like she dropped a little thing in there where they were asking her about like who's like where'd you get this kid, like who's the like what is he, and she's like maybe he's someone that like a pesky witch lived under the rock somewhere, like so which could have been like a reference to Wanda. I don't know, maybe, who knows.
Yeah.
So
I want to go with that. I want to go with this a reference to Wanda because I'm like 80% sure who he is, right? But the misdirect from this episode was so good, it made me question that. But I'm like, they wouldn't be that obvious.
Like I know there's the thing with like the Funko doll. That's
They
like but I want to ignore it completely. I want to ignore it completely.
What's the Funko doll thing?
I'm glad you asked. Reporting live from Channel 6 News. What we know about the Funko dolls is on the back of it, they release like what toys are coming out for this particular series or movie. And they have Wiccan on the back of that. And they have, I saw the picture, they have Wiccan, they have Agatha, and they have, Death, which is.
And it says, like, I think it says teen, and then it says says Wiccan, like, and it's literally geared towards like Agatha all along. So according to Funko, but I want to completely ignore that so I can enjoy the show.
When I'm looking at one of these sites in their cast list, they have his name blurred out, but if you like double click it, it will show his real name, like the name that we're talking about, right?
Right.
We don't want to ruin the experience for everybody else, so we just
that's where I'm at right now. Like, I want to enjoy like the building momentum. I want the reveal to stick for me. I don't want to be like I kind of hate like there's the spoilers. Like, I want it to really mean something for me. So I'm ignoring those things. What Funko doll? I don't know.
Funko doll.
Funko.
All right, so they start making
out of the Funko loop. Sorry, guys.
You know what? And you would have been better for it. Sorry.
It's okay. They've done that with other things have done that. I think Funko has done another one of those. I'm trying to like remember what the other.
They do it all the time. They spoil it all the time.
This is the cast list for whatever the next movie is.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Like, y'all couldn't wait till the season end or something, like halfway through?
Production doesn't work that way. We have to push these things out so we can be ready.
What's funny is they did not do that with the child in The Mandalorian. And so I don't know if you guys remember, there was the child merch, and even at Disneyland, because I live close to Disneyland, there was the child merch anywhere. And they started, like, not even joking. I wish I had it in here. Literally had like two things. One of them was just like they both were like those little magnetic bumper stickers, and like one said warning or something, child on board or something like that, and the other one was something about the child. And that's all they had. Is like they went and got them like printed down the street from some little magnetic sign shop. It was ridiculous. I did buy one, however. So
Exactly.
but there was no trial.
We
Like
still have
literally,
money,
people
right.
in the Star Wars stores looking like, is there any stuff about this? Is there anything? Is it? No, nothing.
No.
But the one thing I love about Marvel is that even though we may know who this person is, that doesn't mean that he can't also be someone else. Because Marvel has this beautiful way of remixing and turning certain stories into gumbo to where it comes out with this cool different story that makes sense. He could still be Nicholas Scratch, and Wick could be reincarnated.
The identity is only part of the reveal.
And
Like we still got to figure out motive.
10 million people have been Iron Man. 10 million people have been Captain America and Spider-Man. Like you can just put a different person in the costume. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Literally, Tony Stark was Doom in the comics. So like all this can happen. It's just cool that we have the freedom and the artistic liberty to do so. And I hope they do. I hope they just surprise us and come up with something cool.
Yeah. All right, so they start get moving on down the road. Ease on down the road.
It still looks like the Yellow Brick Road to me. Like when they do the long shots of it, like you can see its leaves like in the background of my thing here. But like when they do I was like, I just need some flying monkeys, some trees throwing apples.
Right. So they get to their first trial, and it's this beautiful house, this beautiful like beach looking house. And for some reason they can't get in. They get inside, walk in, and it's beautiful inside. Shut the door. They start exploring. Next thing you know, it's like a JCPenney catalog.
It's giving Second Chance at Love, and I'm here for it. I love this character. He is so good.
I'm loving this hair.
Oh yeah.
That Second Chance at Love, that seems like a throwaway line, but I think there might be something in that line. Doesn't have to be like romantic love. It could be like a maternal love, a paternal love, any kind of like
true
human relationship type thing. Anyway, yeah.
We'll get to that in a moment because I mean, because that stuff.
There's
like
so much in this episode.
There is so much, and so so they're noticing their changes, and like you see Agatha kind of like creeping back towards the door, like touching the. Find out she can't open the door. None of the doorknobs work.
That's my thing.
There's no doorknobs.
If you get through these trials, why would you think that you can
away
or try to dodge things? You can't do that, Aggie.
Right. So I'm really under the impression that she might not have gone. She's playing folks, trying to say that
what is her game there? Like she knows she can't go back because it's sealed. I mean the road itself is sealed. She's gonna leave these 5 other people, and what's her plan there? I don't know what she was doing.
Protect their power.
Yeah. Take the power, but I think she needed their trust just to open it, just to get to it. And so they think that she's done it before, then they have a smidgen of trust in her to at least go along.
Not believe her at all. Why would I believe her?
Right, exactly.
Everyone believes that about her. They believe nothing else, that she's like anything that comes out of her mouth. Why would you believe that one thing?
I don't know, honestly.
I don't believe she thought they were going to make it on the road anyway. I thought that she was intending to take their powers after they did the song, she can fight the Salem 7. But to her surprise, the gate opened.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's taking it.
So they take a peep around the house. Sharon is in awe. She's in heaven. This is her place. She bury her in that kitchen.
Literally.
It's a nice kitchen. It's a really nice kitchen.
It is a very nice kitchen, but quite literally.
Oh no!
Yeah. Yeah. In hindsight, yeah.
Oh, spoilers, everyone.
Sorry.
In case you weren't aware.
Spoilers. Oh, so look, let me go ahead and put it up, because if you haven't figured it out yet, like we're gonna be talking about it like each week. Spoilers.
Can you pull up that special image we have of Sharon this episode?
Which one was that one?
Just when she was it's an animated thing just like that. I'm not gonna tell you which one it is, but you know how she was in this episode when she said wine. Yes.
Because she was eager too. She was ready for that wine. So
she's like, I've had a day. Fuck y'all.
Right, honestly. I feel her. Like it's relatable. So they look around the house. They're checking things out, and they see that there is on the mantle. There's a clue, the double-sided cardstock. The really
I
expensive.
wrote cardstock down to talk about. I wrote that to talk
The
about.
double-sided
Fancy.
expensive
It's fancy.
cardstock with the riddle on it.
Did y'all feel like that was the same type of thing that the team was trying to do when the coven came to Agatha's house, a little welcome?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Something to me was like, I don't know if he's really in this like they are. I think he knows what's happening. I think he is part of this.
You know, when someone doesn't really get their groceries like they're supposed to, you can't really make a charcuterie board like you want to, okay?
You cannot.
He's trying to be a nice hostess, okay? Co-host.
And that's what Agatha said. Okay, if you wait on the charcuterie board, it's not coming.
You gotta go to Aldi's for that, buddy. That's where all
a lot of this episode, the teen, because he was very fanboyish the first 2 episodes, right? And then this episode, he seems a lot more like self-aware, and also is like a driving nudge in several of these scenes, like that scene when the show starts, and then the scene a little bit further on that we'll get to when he's like, you need a drink. He gets a little pushy.
Yes, and so there's been several times in all 3 episodes where it seems like the teen knows way more than Agatha does. Like he seems to be way more in the know than Agatha is, and that's concerning. And he's
always seemed book smart to me. Not like he's read the encyclopedias, but he hasn't actually been involved in the world kind of thing.
You know what? That's probably true. That's probably what that is.
Although that does bother me because they did use him as when they said, "Oh, he has a sigil on his mouth." He says, "A sigil's a type of magic." Is like, you're the book smart one. This should not be the thing that is surprising you.
That didn't feel authentic to who his character is assuming to be. You have that notebook in the first episode of all the things that you've been learning. You're very studious.
And you didn't know that you had a sigil on
enough to break the spell to bring Agatha out. So these are some things that you saying, I think he put it on himself.
Really?
I think he's sitting on 600. Like this is notebook number 10,000. Like he's got a whole shelf full of these at home.
Yeah, he's probably like the Hermione Granger of this show. Just pretending.
Leviosa.
But if he put that sigil on himself, circle back to this moment.
Okay. we're gonna clock this moment right here.
September 30th. What is it for you guys? 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock?
It's like 8 something.
Oh, look. Hey, Mark.
Mark.
Hi,
hello.
James.
He did. Okay. You think?
Okay. I think so too. I think he put the sigil on himself, and he is on that road to resurrect his mother.
That'll be interesting.
That's spoiler territory, but
so like we said earlier, like the identity is only part of the reveal. It's the motive.
It's all about the motive.
It's the motive that's gonna really gonna drive it home for us. So what was the riddle? The riddle was my age, and something my value.
I'm alone. I'm not fun. And
yeah.
I'm trying to.
I don't know about y'all, but drinking wine by myself is just fine for me.
Absolutely.
I'm okay.
Let's take this girl talk to the couch. That's
right.
I have a whole section for sharing funny moments.
What is the thing she said?
Is number one.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh God, look, it's double-sided. What does this mean?"
What is the thing she said when they pulled her out of the mud?
Oh, what was
she said something like fiddly do or something weird like that. I was like, I meant to write it down. I was like, I just love that line so much.
She's hilarious. Oh man.
Can we tiptoe to Jennifer Kell and the teens' conversation at the bar? Because that was a moment in Marvel history that was huge, because we've never ever heard the name
exactly
being uttered in the MCU. So for that to be from Jennifer Kell's character, that was really awesome.
Yes. So they solved the riddle of the wine. They are just about everybody's had a glass except for Agatha girl and the teen, because teens, we don't support underage drinking. Okay. So in these parts, we don't do that. But they're all just kind of talking, and she's trying to Jennifer's trying to warn the teen about Agatha, not trusting Agatha, and talking about mentioning how she sacrificed her son to get the Darkhold.
Mm-hmm. Messy.
And so she mentions that if her son were to walk in front of her, she wouldn't know who he is.
Messy.
Be anybody, demon, agent of Mephisto,
Mm.
anybody.
It could be you, sir.
It could be you, sir. Honestly, and he would
and we know
know
what y'all doing, Marvel. We see what y'all doing.
Right, exactly that.
Okay.
Which everyone else is kind of gagged about just the pure mention of Mephisto.
It turned the entire comic book community on. Okay,
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, the fanboys are screaming somewhere. I just know.
Can I get a very brief, like, explanation of Mephisto? So I've heard two things where like people kind of relate to him as being the devil, but he's not necessarily the devil of Marvel. He's like another sub-agent of the devil.
He is actually born from one of the very first beings in Marvel, and I can't think of her name right now. I feel so bad about this, so hopefully I don't lose my street cred. But he was born from her. He's another entity. Now there is rumors that he is the snake that was in the Garden of Eden.
Mm-hmm.
So where he's been placed at in history is how we've seen the traditional Satan being used or the devil being used. But as it relates to that, he is not that devil.
Right.
That they're speaking. He is a devil.
Like he has some resemblance. He looks like.
Of course, he's a hell creature.
Right, exactly.
Of course, Mephisto.
So there, with that in mind, there is hope that we will see him. Not sure if it's going to be at the end of Agatha, but in the near future.
I don't know.
Coming.
The rumor is he'll be in Ironheart as the driving villain of that story piece, which will be interesting because it's not really supernatural. Right. It's black-led, which is exciting, but it's not supernatural. So we'll see how that works out. There is a clip in the trailer of like this red devilish thing screaming out. It could be him. He's been casted as Sacha Baron.
Oh, Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah, really? He's been casted as Mephisto. Yeah, he's perfect for Mephisto.
I'm not gonna say he can't do it. It's just
look at him. We already have to look.
He pops up in the weirdest places.
Borat.
Yeah,
that's Borat. Yeah, but his range he's
Alice
gonna be
in Wonderland,
insane.
the second Alice in Wonderland movie. He was the timekeeper, where the heck he was. Like, he does like. I can never tag that guy. He's just weird.
I did like. What was the last thing I remember watching him like purposely seeing him in?
No, it just happens accidentally. He just shows up.
Because I remember like maybe watching a clip of Borat and thinking like I would never want to watch this again. But like I think it was Sweeney Todd, the Johnny Depp.
Sweeney Todd. He was
the barber Pirelli.
Yes. Yep.
So like, and that's like some range too. Like I can give him props for that.
I believe he could do it. It's just always, I would never be like, oh, I'm going to cast him in this thing. I'm just like I would assume if I was running a movie, he would just show up in my film. That's how I think it would happen.
Of course.
But I don't know. Like he's cameo king, honestly.
Mephisto is known for doing like those devilish deals. They have a name again. I can't think. They escape me.
Like a pact or
a something deal. It'll come to me. I can't think of it, but it's huge in horror. I can't think of what it's called. However, he's known for doing that. He's picked on the Silver Surfer, the Fantastic Four. He has been around everybody. Oh, and he created the first Ghost Rider too.
So I guess, and with the Fantastic Four coming soon, like I guess it's going to happen. Yeah, it makes sense. Mark says that they think the agent of Mephisto is either Teen or Rio. Because we haven't seen Aubrey Plaza in this episode at all.
We have not. It's called a Faustian bargain. That's it, Faustian. I can't think of it.
Oh, because like Faust.
Yes,
because Mephisto is a playoff of a character.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so a Fisto's bargain.
Yeah,
that's what he does in this universe. Agent Mephisto is Teen. Okay, so Marvel could. Okay, so when it comes to Scarlet Witch's kids that she had in WandaVision, the two kids, to create them, she borrowed parts of Mephisto's soul in the comic. And when they disappeared, they were supposed to go back to him. However, that didn't happen, and they're reincarnated into the lives of teenagers. Billy Kaplan, aka could be the teen,
Right.
is one of those souls that was reincarnated, which will become Wiccan. So that could be true, but Marvel could say, "Hey, the soul went back to him, and now you work for me. You know, I want to use it in a different way." So that could be true. That would be so interesting. They switch a lot of things up.
So real quick, along the lines of Ironheart being Mephisto, the Mandarin was like a dude with a bunch of magic powers, and he was one of Iron Man's big villains for a while too. So it's not unheard of to have like this magic versus technology thing.
Of course not. Yeah. Sure.
It is. It does rub me weird because it's like, okay, it's not like two people. Just like we had a discussion last time, it's like it's not two people punching each other. It's like, oh, this person is like Mandarin cannot get punched by Iron Man; he gets obliterated, right? But like also, Iron Man can't deal with the like he can do technology, he cannot do magic. He's like, this doesn't make sense. This is weird.
Yeah, I would assume at full power, Agatha would just pull that suit apart.
Yeah, probably.
And Mephisto will probably do even worse. So okay, to your point, he could be making a deal with her.
That would be that
would drive the story differently because she is an ambitious student trying to I think she was at MIT and she went to Wakanda to work with Siri. So who knows what type of offer he may offer her to, you know.
She's gotten her taste of the not necessarily, well, I guess technically what's his name? Kakukan. Kakukan is Namor. I guess there's a touch of the supernatural, if you will.
I mean, he's a mutant, so we'll take that. But being in Wakanda in itself and seeing the technology and being in that world is enough. But making a deal with the devil could be an interesting story point for her.
Okay. See, Mark James says, I think the agent of Mephisto is the teen or Rio.
Yeah. Yes. And we'll keep that in mind. I wish I could. My straw stopped working. Dang.
All right. All these people need to stop making deals with demons. What are they doing? Isn't the Hood supposed to be featured in Ironheart? That's pretty good. Yeah. The Hood, he has some demon thing going on.
Well, we'll see. Y'all, my straw got like frozen.
Soap opera. So it's soap opera. It's soap opera. It's soap opera. I just pulled up the Mephisto like a quick run. Just like so many highlighted names. I just at a glance: Hawkeye, Mockingbird, Thanos, Wonder Man, Ghost Rider, Punisher, Wolverine, Silver Surfer, Witchblade, Jennifer Kale, Weapons. Just like everyone who's ever been in Marvel is connected to
Mephisto.
Yeah, the thing.
Is that Jennifer Kale's name?
Adolf Hitler, Blackbeard, Attila the Hun also aged Mephisto. Apparently,
all of it makes sense.
All of it, quite honestly.
I do like when historical figures end up in Marvel comics. Also, Superman punched Adolf Hitler. So if you guys ever want to see a cool cover, look that up. That was great.
Jennifer Kale was listed on that. What you just read?
Yeah,
that's funny because in the comics she's not that important. She dies in the comics, and then she gets resurrected. But
the thing is, like all of them except for like Agatha, like they all like. Whenever I look them up, granted it's Wikipedia, but like they're a little smidgen. It's always in someone else's major story. It's never like their own, and it's very short lived.
They are like the D level, like Jessica Jones may be like B or C. They are definitely way beneath that. But Lilia is important. She is super powerful. Probably if she survives the road.
It makes me think of like what is this is nerdy. So in Macbeth, at the start, he runs across the Weird Sisters, which are three witches. Yeah. And they're mentioned a couple times, but they literally there just to like provide impetus for part of the story and then to be a reminder later. That's all they do, which is, I guess, kind of like what they do in some of the Marvel stuff, a lot of the Marvel stuff.
Well, okay, so let's go ahead and keep going. So they've all drinking the wine. There's a timer that started. Sharon is kind of lost in the sauce for sure. She's drinking probably the most. But right on, Sharon. I feel you. Agatha's trying to play like she's drinking, and clearly she's not. And the wine is refilling. She poured it out in one of the plants, and it refilled while she wasn't licking.
Ain't that special?
Ain't that something?
Did you notice Agatha poured a double portion for herself? In those wine glasses, she poured more and it doesn't matter if everyone served themselves and then Agatha, it doesn't matter, or if she served, like, it's bad either way. She took twice as much as everyone else.
Yes, but she didn't drink it.
She didn't drink it.
And so after not too long, they're all sitting around talking and whatever. And then next thing you know, we got some bloated faces, some swollen plastic surgery faces.
I loved it.
Yeah,
Starting
and
with
Lily was
Sharon.
like, I like it.
Started with Sharon and then one by one, and then wait a minute, Agatha.
And she was like,
right, girl, you better sip that damn wine.
she's not all of maybe not all of us have to drink it. Stop it.
Stop it. Right. Stop it.
You stop it. And then the team, to your point, Lucio, this is when he was like, you know what? I've had enough. Agatha, drink it.
Well, because first he says, I'll drink it. Okay, so here's the thing, because when they first serve the wine, he says, I'll have some. And Agatha says, oh, yeah, that's fine. And everyone's like, no,
we don't know what's in it.
But she was right away like, cool, have some wine, Mom. But all of a sudden, as soon as she knows, like, oh, this is dangerous to you, no, you cannot. Which is like,
I'd rather you have some at home than be drinking out.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, as soon as they know it's poison and he's like, I'm going to drink it, she's like, no. And that's when she does it. I was like,
I wrote down that I thought it was really weird that the witches had a problem with underage drinking, which from the lore I'm used to, there is no type of age thing when it comes to like.
I can tell you exactly. Oh, also, isn't who's the future reader?
Lilia.
Yeah, Lilia.
Like
is she Italian, right? Like she would have no qualms with this. The person who has issue with it is Disney. That's who has issues with it.
Yes,
100%.
Now Sharon should have led that charge by herself.
Right.
That would have made more sense.
Mm-hmm. As your suburban mom, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Sharon's a cool mom too.
Maybe.
Yeah, she's a cool mom. I'm not a regular mom.
Agatha was trying to break out of the trial. I'm like, girl, you've never been here before, because you cannot. Even they who've not been for a fit for sure say you can't escape the trial.
Which is like, and that's where you kind of have to, like, this is where you get frustrated with Agatha, because like, is she going to do this every trial where she's gonna try to like sabotage and get out of it, like not have to do it and make everyone else do the thing for her? Well, ma'am, like if folks are dropping like flies after each trial, you're going to have to do something at some point.
If that's what this show is, that's going to be fun. It's going to hurt me because I don't know who. Sharon was the only one I was thinking, okay, she could go if I had to pick somebody to go. But next, I'm like,
right.
Is it going to be one really every? Close. Is it one per escape room?
Right. Is it really going to be like that? But if anything, it'd probably be the mall cop.
I'm sorry. She's starting to grow on me. She actually has personality,
but not enough yet. I promise not enough yet.
So here's the thing: I do worry when it becomes like, oh, this is the this person focused episode. They're gonna die this episode. Yeah. I had two takes of her escape though. Like my thought was, she knows it gets worse after this. Like she's like, I know I'm not allowed to cheat my way out, but it's gonna be worse after. Like this is the easy part.
But I'm gonna try.
Yeah. Or my other thought was, I'm wondering if Agatha has been to this road and somehow got through on a technicality.
I think we know how she got through.
But well, I mean, she's eaten several people already, and apparently at least one baby.
Yeah.
She absorbed her previous coven.
Yeah. And that's not the first set of witches that she's. I mean, that is the first set. That is the first set, but not all of her. She's gone and done more.
Even her mom.
Yes. Exactly that.
Yeah.
The trial.
Yes. So the trial. Go ahead. You want to talk about the trial?
Yeah, the trial is a potions trial, which is, I love the fact that, and it's obvious, of course, that's fine, but like the specialties of the witches are reflected in the trial. Smart, brilliant, because that's the requirement. And so it was nice to see Jennifer Kell up first to bat, and she delivered. I wrote down tone, and it relates to not being horror enough when it comes to the individual trials. The mall cop, I thought hers could have been extremely terrifying, but it didn't deliver how I wanted it to.
Okay.
It was good.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to like really give me like horror in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was like just a little hint of what everyone has dealt with in their life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they're going to hit on it more. Kale's was I was like, this is genuinely horrifying. Like she's like this like priest guy's drowning her. This is
Hers was good.
Yes.
Agatha's was. I also do like that I like that they delayed it because she drank. Hers is going to show up by itself, by herself, and in front of everyone. I kind of did you not like the dark hold in the bassinet?
I loved it, but she gave me. It's this camp. It needs to be better balanced because when she was like,
and the single tear rolls down her face, I would have been fine.
Felt so camp. I was like, oh my God.
I do like the idea of her giving, like, not sacrificing her baby, but basically giving up her baby. She's like, okay, yeah, I take this book, I get power, but I give up a person I love, and I don't get, like, regardless of where they are in the world or what involvement I may or may not have with them, I don't ever get to recognize them. That's an interesting take on it.
And all I have is this hair in my locket
of
my baby boy. I think that's too. I thought the meaning behind it was great. I thought it was cool. I just didn't. And then how it switched right back, and they were like, Agatha.
They know what she's dealing with.
They know. That's like, it just didn't feel horror enough for these horrible things that we're in this fucking house that are reliving our worst fears.
They said we've already dealt with our traumas. We got to move on. We don't have time for you to deal with yours. We gotta go. You should have done. You should have did it with us when we first started.
We only have 30 minutes in this escape room. We gotta try to beat that time.
You should have done it when we drank too. So this is your fault.
How much does it suck for your last memory on Earth is to you telling Wanda to remove the hex off of your husband? I mean, stop making him choke.
Yes.
Because that was her last memory.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks, Marvel. That really sucks.
That made me like so. After that made me want to go back and rewatch WandaVision, because that's her. Like she's episode 1, like her, like that visit with her husband, and they're having dinner over at WandaVision's house. Yeah, like that's the first episode of the series. It was interesting.
That's a surprisingly dark into the episode. Yeah, that's like the dark.
Was that Wanda? Are we sure that was Wanda that was choking him, or was that not Agatha, like intervening?
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know. I'm gonna still go with Wanda, but if they reveal that was Agatha, then sure.
Look, I could, because I remember like when we finally see who Agatha is instead of Agnes. You know, she talks about all the things that she's kind of meddled in throughout the entire series. So I was wondering if like that one was actually Wanda or if that was Agatha intervening.
She was around too because she helped her with dinner.
Yes, exactly that.
It does paint Agatha again in a bad light, like that moment, realizing like, oh, she thinks it's Wanda, but also it's just Agatha being a monster.
Causing chaos.
So the mall cops was pretty interesting. Agatha's was good. Jennifer's was good. Lilia didn't have one, but she had like a vision, like protect Wanda. I mean Agatha, and Agatha was like, "Yeah, I like that. Let's do that."
Right, let's do that.
So she didn't really have one, and so the team was doing whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Another misdirect, but we're going to allow it to, take us on, go on this road. Okay?
Lilia saw death, right? Like she saw death looking over whoever that person in the chair was.
What do you mean?
Because her vision, she had like a little girl, like some young girl come out dressed in like I don't know.
Oh, she did have a vision. Yeah.
And that person like, do you want to see or something like that? And then walked in the room and there's a person like all decrepit looking in this chair, and then like clearly death like looks over the person.
And they're saying that character is Rio, the Green Witch. Death.
Death is the Rio?
Yes, but they're saying that because remember the beginning, Agatha was like, I can't take your power because it will kill me.
Yeah. Okay.
So she has to be some divine entity. Any other witch is not a problem. If she's going to take the Scarlet Witch's power, then any other witch is fine.
So we are getting to our hallucinations. Agatha's finally had hers, but like that's in the middle of them working out the the potion, the spell, the antidote for their wine curse.
Their wine
This is
curse. I love it.
this is like Jennifer's time to shine. So like she's trying to she's having to do this like off the dome of what do I need to
Loved it.
to cure
All of it.
while also being like basically intoxicated and hallucinating at the same time. Oh, someone said, oh, Jeremy says, I'm wondering if Rio is death or just an avatar.
Tomato.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Jeremy. I'm with you. Jeremy, bear my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, bear me baby. Jeremy, bear me baby.
Oh.
I did like that the it was a lot of like because my daughter walked in the room and made a face at me because when Jennifer Kale says, I have newt, I was like, oh, that's mustard seed. It's like my daughter's like, why do you know that? It's a stupid thing to know. All those like
which
so from that Bubble Bowl, Toilet Trouble, all those things they name, like I have newt and tongue of like all those things are like just a bunch of like old timey names for like literally things that are just in your cupboard,
like honey.
Yeah, or like I think Wolfsbane. Well, hopefully no one has Wolfsbane in their cupboard. But besides that one, like a lot of them are just like
Ginger is one too that's common that has a funny old name.
Yeah,
yeah. Yes. So they're still working on it. They're getting the stuff together, and it has to turn like tealish color.
Cerulean.
Cerulean. Yes. Let's turn a cerulean color to work because they got it in the. They don't have a witch's pot. They don't have a pot. They have the sink, the lovely sink.
It's a gorgeous sink. That sink's great.
Sink.
A gorgeous sink and a sous vide.
Yeah.
So smart. I mean, that's
right.
Really, the team was on it. And Patty, it's green, team. It was so funny.
And so there's not working. And wait a minute, we still need Agatha's strand of hair. And then Jennifer's like really like having an anxiety attack about like not being able to finish the spell. Like I have no clue what to do. Like I can't think of this off the top. Like what would you say? I make skincare.
I used to be able to just wave my hand and saw all of this. I can't do this. I can't dilate this. My day is not here. I'm just Jennifer, please.
Right. Get it together. It's one good like.
I never liked you, but I left you alone because what you did means something.
Mm-hmm.
Now pull your shit together.
Right.
That's what she told her.
Yeah, that's good.
And she
was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't get Sharon's hair, and I feel like some type of way about that.
And I wonder if that is why.
She's dead.
Right. So
I'm still here.
Yes. Jeremy Bearmy says, while I was watching, I was wondering, did they get a strand? No. They did not. Honestly, that's what it is. They didn't. Now that you think about it, I don't think they did. Because, like, they kind of had her to the side on the kitchen table, and they were too busy trying to get the potion brewing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. And so the last piece was the blood of the uncursed. Good job, team, for not drinking.
Exactly. And I loved how quick Agatha was like, come here, let's go. Pull your hand out, cut it, put it
in.
Right. Let's go. Everybody drink. It was just so fast.
Agatha, like, don't do that.
That's a big cut, though, man.
No matter. We need all of it.
I was surprised that she didn't go straight for the neck and someone be like, Agatha, we don't need all that blood.
Right.
If she would have slit his throat, that's the type of tone I'm talking about we need. Here, slick blood in there. That would have been so
when
great.
They did the hair, I thought it was because like I realized like, oh, they don't have Sharon's hair, but immediately as soon as they're like, get Sharon the antidote, I was like completely forgot that she wasn't a part of that potion.
Right. 10 seconds left. They finally got it. They're okay. 10 seconds left. They finally give it to her. She's kind of like lucid. Not enough, but just slightly lucid. And next thing you know, the house starts to flood. And they're all just kind of scrambling to get out. And then the one place that's open for them to like, it's like a portal to get through.
Everyone knows that's where witches go.
The oven. And Lily is like, hell no, I'm not going through this oven.
I had a homegirl who had a beautiful house and she was put into an oven. And we know who that is, right?
Oh my God. Hansel and
Gretel.
Gretel? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I know.
I
That's
love
his
that.
name.
And you know what? From what I'm hearing, we're going to get more of those type of crossover mentions and things. I
Mhm.
even heard a weird rumor that the lead from Wizards of Waverly Place is supposed to be on this show later on. I don't know.
That'd be great.
It'd be
I've never
interesting.
seen that show. I know
I
some lady.
wonder how much they'll pull from like Grimm stories.
Mm,
The Grimm's brothers.
yeah, and I'm sure we're gonna have a poison apple. I'm surprised we didn't have a poison apple this episode.
Interesting. I'm sure it's coming.
Of course.
Yes. All right, so they get over themselves and they go through the oven, and they're basically like sliding through. They're having to carry Sharon through because she's basically still unconscious, and they get through and they get back onto the road, and everyone's up, moving, alive, and well, except for rest in peace, Sharon.
What's Sharon? That's what Agatha said. She's like, who is Sharon?
So was it that she's forgotten her, or was it that she just is a bad person that doesn't remember that Mrs. Hart is?
It's both. It's both of them.
But is there something going on the road where Agatha's going to keep losing this stuff?
I don't think so. I think that was just her
she's just a bad neighbor,
ending that joke that's been recurring about not knowing who she was.
Right. I mean, because they kept calling her Mrs. Hart. That's not her name. Mrs. Phillip. Her name is Mrs. Phillip.
So literally never learned her neighbor's name.
Yeah, it's Phillip. So what was her husband's name?
He's dead.
Right.
His name is dead.
Right. Well, you know, she's back with him in spirit.
She's definitely back with him.
Let him breathe.
On the other side.
Right.
And hopefully she has her book to help her usher along into this moment, and we will maybe see Sharon again.
She better read it and do it before she goes visit her case manager.
Exactly. Can we say that? What if the teen, upon landing, killed her? Because he discovered her body. He was like, all except for Sharon, and nobody else was even thinking about what they were doing. What if
I keep looking down like, oh, what happened to Sharon? She's down there on the ground.
She's dead.
Dead.
He was on top of her. What if he killed her?
Ooh.
We all made it. Yeah. But
well,
body stays there.
Body stays there. Yikes. And then after that, scene closed.
That's episode 3.
That's episode 3. We didn't do a commercial break, nothing, but go ahead.
How do we feel 3 episodes in? I want to sort of hit on themes, tone, performances. So what you think are some of the overall themes of this show so far?
Oh goodness.
I know.
Because I think back to I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's connected. So WandaVision's about grief.
Regret?
Maybe. Regret. Possibly. What's the word I'm thinking of? Not validation, but
I think it's about validation.
But because that validation would be definitely for Agatha, but for all of them, because they've all have lost something that they're trying to gain back.
Redemption? Is that the
redemption? Yes, that's it.
So I think that is kind of what the road represents for all of them, but for Agatha, it's more like having to pay for her past sins.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
What about motherhood?
I mean, it's a lot of that,
with the mall cop,
and
with Agatha about the teen,
abandonment,
I think even
abandonment, sure, yeah,
Lily, whatever,
Lilia,
yeah,
Yellow Diamond.
Any standout performances from this episode?
Sharon.
Yeah.
Sharon and Jennifer. This was definitely Jennifer's trial. But Sharon had the comedic timing that just kind of mosey things along and just lighten things up.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, definitely Sharon and Jennifer.
And Sharon and Jennifer, exactly. Sharon and Kale for me. And I'm going to throw in the teen also.
Okay, yep. And I think the teen is could it be the teen is saying William? William is short for Bill
Billy.
and
Yeah.
Billy.
Billy Kaplan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that. And we have some new people coming to hang out with us. Thank you.
Hey, welcome.
Not 20, you're one of them.
Who we got here?
How are you?
Mark James, Jeremy Bearmy, baby. T Lot 20.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Welcome.
Make sure you share, subscribe, tell everybody about us.
Because we'll be here talking about this.
We will be here talking about this all Halloween long.
Yeah. Definitely the teen. I think they're building this character to be the breakout character, which makes sense. I know we mentioned it last time where we're thinking like, okay, WandaVision, like Agatha was kind of the breakout. So we have Agatha now, and then now it's going to be Teen's going to be the breakout, and then maybe the next series will be the Teen.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm looking at this cast list on multiple different places, and the guy that played his boyfriend, Marvel think they're so slick. The guy that plays his boyfriend, his name is, hold on. Is this
was it Eduardo or something like that?
Isn't it like the whole
Eddie? It's Eddie. It's Eddie. And in the comic books, Billy Kaplan or Wiccan is married to Hulkling, and his name is Edward. Hold on, it's something like that. Hold on, Hulkling's name. Hulkling's name, Marvel. Excuse me.
Let's see someone in the comments. Teddy Altman.
Thank you, Teddy Altman. Teddy, Eddie.
Yeah.
It's he's painted. He's of color in the comics, and he has this dangly earring, curly hair, just like Eddie had in that
Jerry curl.
All of he has that, yes. So it could be him.
Yes. And what do they call them? The Young Avengers? That's what it sounds like it's headed to.
That's what's happening. We're on our way to the Young Avengers.
Yeah. Yep. What about some hits and misses for this episode?
Ooh.
Any misses?
Just that one moment where he asks about the sigil, because like when you have, like, I understand using, like, you have a character that doesn't know a thing and that person asks questions for the audience, where it's like, oh, we're introducing this piece of information, and then the person asks a question to clarify that the person watching would have that question, and that's the dumb one for the moment, right? Not that they're dumb, but they're the unknowing one. And for him to be like, I know all this stuff, I know all the book smarts, I know all the things, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't know what a sigil is. Like, you would think that would be just another one of the many books that he has written in his home, certainly sitting on his shelves, personalized notebooks.
Yeah, I don't know if I had many misses. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I can see where like the campiness can be a bit much if it's not leveled out between like the suspense and the horror vibe of the show. And and I can't necessarily decide if whether or not that is the writing or our actress, our leading actress. But the thing is, like, I love that about her though. Like I enjoy that about her because it worked really well in WandaVision, but because it's supposed to be a little bit more rooted, I guess, in more reality of her, like, of real Agatha at this point. Like at the end of WandaVision, she wasn't that campy at the end. She was just villainy. So like, what happens to like we want some more of that in Agatha now.
That's my thing that's killing me in the show. The tone is not. I think it needs to be readjusted. And if Agatha's going to be this campy thing the entire time, it's not going to work for me. She has to ground the show, and I think her, like you said earlier, her being a co-star with Agatha, it works. I mean, with Wanda, it works. But leading this way is not working for me. And the moments that she should be in pocket and be seriously, it's just not happening. It's just not coming across how it needs to for me. So hopefully the tone will switch some more. And I don't mind her being snarky and being Agatha. But like you said, in the end of Wanda, she was full on villain. Bring her back.
Yeah.
It also it also was a reveal though at the end of WandaVision where she had had all these machinations she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Agatha All Along type song or not song, but a reveal like that at the end of or somewhere deeper into this show. It's oh, Agatha's been up to nonsense again.
I don't want that at the end. I don't want that at the end. I would be okay with that in the middle. I'd be okay with that in the middle where, it reveals that she's literally really up to no good, and these are all the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But not being the ending of the series.
Yeah.
I want her to. They pull her by her ear and make her get her stuff together so they can get out of there. They can actually finish the road.
And in WandaVision, it was Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean because I feel like I don't think she can do it by herself.
Yeah,
honestly and truly. So
I mean, she has no magic right now, right? Yeah, so she's she definitely needs people. I don't know that she's used to having. Certainly not used to having them. She's eaten her coven. Doesn't have coven.
Right.
With WandaVision, I was thinking WandaVision didn't have. I think it was until episode 3 when they had the pullback where they show, this is a thing on television,
right?
And then the following episode was, all the people outside West.
Mm-hmm.
Westview. That's at least, and that was at least halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So you're finding out the big deal, the big picture here.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine because WandaVision was the first episode was just fun with this weird sinister moment in it.
Right.
Second one got a little weirder, but and you're you can tell, there's something going on that's not just these weird TV episodes. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something similar going on here, where it's they're building the pieces. So to that point, when you ask what's the theme of this, I actually wonder if maybe it's not a thing we can entirely tell until we're a little bit farther down the road.
Yeah, well, then I guess because it's 10 episodes or 8?
It's 10.
10. Okay, so maybe not in this next episode, not this week, maybe next week.
I'm excited for all of it. It's all conjecture on my part. It's very fun.
I'm in it for the long haul.
I also love the fact that everyone in the chat is pulling up names for isn't this person this and isn't this person this is that is not detracting anything for me. That's this is just that much more fun because it's everything's connected, everything gets to be connected.
Hulkling is Kree and Skrull hybrid, and he's royalty to the Kree Empire. He's royalty. And he's
nerdy. Does that mean I need to go back and watch Secret Invasion?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Secret of it. I'm sure. No, don't make that face. Secret Invasion wasn't that bad.
That's the one I always forget about.
Soldier.
You didn't like Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I loved it, man.
I enjoyed that one. It was slow. It was slow.
It was very slow.
It picked up towards the end. I still haven't really gotten through the second season of Loki, so I don't know.
Man.
And that's some good television, the second season.
Yeah, I have to.
Both
I don't know.
Spectacular for me.
Yeah, I don't know. So
that phase is ending. Yes, however, Marvel was a woman. She was, but there were shapeshifters. Does that really matter? Maybe. We have not.
They have a different social and political structure now. It's entirely.
Yep, they too are under election. So wish them luck.
Let's see what happens in November for them. Okay.
Yes, for them.
Okay.
Maybe open their. Never mind.
Okay, everyone, register to vote.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Register to vote. I don't care what you do, just vote. Hey,
we haven't gotten political.
Vote.
So, any last thoughts before we close out? Like anything, any hopes for the next episode? Because there's a scene that keeps being popped up in the credits where it's like super dark. We got some like Exorcist level like movement.
Please.
I'm wondering when that's happening.
Hopefully
When is
soon.
Aubrey Plaza coming back? I think we'll get more of the horror when Aubrey comes back. When Rio returns.
That I love her. I've been watching her her feeds recently, and her and Patty LuPone are like best friends. She's
right.
Her. They have a relationship. I was like, this is so crazy. So when y'all have scenes, I know they're gonna be off the charts.
Yes.
We did a Hot Ones interview too.
That's the one I saw.
So good.
Yeah.
So I did see. Okay, I do want to bring up. We had very few negatives for this episode, which I really enjoyed. It was just a solid episode. It was great. Someone was bringing up that like, and I noticed that someone had like shown the little title card for Catherine Hahn's name. All the characters have their name on a thing with the background, and so for Lilia's, it's the actress name. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names.
Patty LuPone.
Yes, thank you. Patty LuPone's name with the background. It was a bunch of tarot cards. And then for so each of them had something corresponding. So Sharon's was like a bunch of plants. And then for Catherine Hahn's, it is like a couple like the moon phases, and then a little figure of the Wicked Witch of the West, or just a green witch, like a green skinned witch.
Exactly.
Like, okay, what is that? Like, what is the?
She's the green witch. She's the next one.
Catherine Hahn is?
Oh no.
Yeah, no, because Sharon's was plants, but for
Aubrey's supposed to be the green witch, isn't she?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, for Catherine Hahn, so it has this little thing with the moon phases, and then this witch figure. And I was like, I don't know, like, because all the other ones like, oh, that's that person's power, that's that one's power, that's that one's power, and then for hers, I'm like, okay, this is like some degree of subtle.
She's two-faced. She has two faces. Two sides of her, like the moon.
Well, I mean, if it's the moon phases, it's a lot of different phases.
Yeah.
There's a rumor about Emily Caulfield being.
Oh yeah.
Was it like is there a yellow witch? Because some of her flowers, because like Wanda's were red, Agnes or Agatha was purple, and then hers were yellow.
Is there one in the comics? Yes.
Okay.
I don't know her name, but I saw the same post where they were talking about the representations of who these people could be. And there is a witch who uses yellow magic in the comics.
I would love some Emma Caulfield.
I'm really upset that she's not on the road. To be honest.
She would be hilarious, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you needed her or Sharon. I guess Sharon was
right.
I need to see my favorite witches of all. They're teens. They're witches. They're twitches.
That's not what you mean. You don't mean
that.
No one ever means that.
No twitches. No twitches.
No twitches.
Thank you. I was worried, Ricky.
What I need from this show moving forward is to make a steady tone that makes sense for this project. I feel bad about Sharon, but my heart wasn't broken. I want to like feel that they're in this dark place that people, because they built this road up like nobody wants to go there. It's crazy.
Okay, this is a good question.
Did Agatha get assigned a role? Divination, potion, blood? She did not get assigned a role.
It is kind of like they assumed. It's not stated almost because like they assumed that she is whatever this thing that she is. Because they basically were tagging the people that like the roles that were missing, and they never stated what Agatha was. She doesn't have a role. It doesn't seem like. I mean, she has, or it's that they know what her role is supposed to be, and they don't. They're like, oh, it's just we don't have to say it because that's who you are.
Interesting.
What is that role? The leader?
I mean, what would because it does seem like it's related to whatever the type of magic is.
Like their specialties.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is our heavy weapons guy. This is our guy that does our breaching. This is our sniper. This is no, but it is. It's like, oh, what is your heist role kind of thing, or your witch power role?
What's your major?
What's your major?
I do it all.
I'm a double major, psychology and math major, honestly.
Potions and soul sucking.
Yes, there you go. All of those.
But all seriousness, I want this show to end up being a great journey. Again, I'm really excited, but if I'm going to be honest, I don't love it as much as I want to love it.
I'm enjoying it.
Love this show. I'm enjoying it. I like it. I mean, it's a witch show, of course, absolutely. I don't love the show.
My threshold has adjusted over the last couple of years for Marvel, so I am.
That's not a good thing, Marvel.
Well, because my thing now, because I don't want to be disappointed, so like I have to adjust it so I can just enjoy it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree.
And not get caught up, because like even then, like as much as like reviewing the shows and trying to figure out what this and this mean, like sometimes that can take the enjoyment out of
facts.
Out of the show and out of the movies and out of the universe, and it's like that's the kind of what sets them apart and kind of brings them down a bit, because a lot of us are just too busy trying to connect who's going to come next and how does this connect here, and when are the mutants going to come, and when is this person going to come, and how are they going to fill in, and it's like you can't really enjoy it for what it is.
You know what? I don't really care about any of that. I'm really just, and that's what I love about the show. For one, it just feels like we're watching a cool witch show.
Right.
It doesn't feel like we got Thanos coming and fucking.
And that's where you have to kind of like step away from MCU fandom time, and enjoy the projects for what they are.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying that piece of it. If I'm looking at it independently, just as something I want to enjoy and consume, the tone is just killing me. Like Scream Queens was one thing about being comedy and horror that worked. But something of maybe this is what that tone is. Maybe I need to understand that that's the tone of what this is and adjust accordingly. But I'm enjoying it. I just want them to push a little bit harder.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it. It's for me right now. They're at the level where they're at the point in the story where there's like question.
Yeah.
So everything is just like building on whatever this mystery is, and at some point you get over that hill where it's like, okay, now we know what the rules are and everything's established.
Right. You get 2 more episodes. You want to give me some answers.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, kind of, I need it next episode.
That's 4. Normally, about 3 episodes into a show, I make decisions.
Like 4 or 5, I need to start seeing. I need some things answered. Not everything has to be answered
for real. By
answers.
The third mark of the third 1/3 into whatever the thing is, you should like have a good idea of what you're doing,
what we're here for. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
And they did I do this thing with Netflix where I'll go, okay, I have this weird thing sitting on my queue. Let's watch it for 15 minutes. And it's an hour and a half movie. By 15 minutes, we should know, like, as scripts are written, like, oh, we should have an idea of what the impetus is and what the problem is, and we should know what's going forward. Like, have a good idea what's going to propel this forward. And by 15 minutes, if I don't like what's happening, I'll just turn it off and just delete it from my queue, because I know it's not going to do a thing I want it to do.
Yeah, I think that's valid. I'm going to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours watching something.
It can't, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm at the point in, like, I used to be like, oh, I started this book. I don't care how bad it is. I'm going to read it. No, you got like 50 pages. It's going to go down.
Yeah.
It's going to go downward death.
Yeah, Jeremy Bearme says, yes, step away because it's easy to go down the where was death during the Infinity Saga rabbit hole. I mean, like, that's a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be like that for the end of time, honestly. Right. It's
Thanos
going to be
wants
like
to sleep
that.
with death is a very weird drive for a giant villain, though.
Because you're going to have to deal with that when you get to the mutants. Or the mutants are on this time.
I cannot wait until they figure out. I know it's going to be another universe where they've already existed for sure, right?
Right. Like there's no way around it. Like it's going to be like that for the end of time.
They're going to have to really make it really nice for it to feel really okay. Because if the X-Men were around during the Infinity Wars, we wouldn't have no problems.
Right.
They would have took out Thanos with nothing.
It would have been a different problem. You'd have Dark Phoenix deal with. That's what the problem
That's
would have
fine.
been.
That's fine.
Of course,
she wouldn't kill the whole world. She would actually. At least he did 50%.
Give me a portion. Here's your portion. All right, guys. So where can we find y'all?
You can find me here on Geeking Out or at Tamon Kane on any social media platform. You can find me on Wednesdays covering from season 3 and soon season 3 of Scream Kings.
Woohoo, Lucio.
Oh, I actually have a thing. I guess I can. So I'm at Lucyman or at Lucyman79 on everything. But also, if you have kids that are like 12 to 16-ish, I do. I GM role playing games throughout school. So you can find me on there. If you have a kid that wants to learn how to play role playing games, it's like an hour and a half session a week. It's a lot of fun.
I'm that kid.
I'm very glad that D&D is like, oh, it's socially acceptable to do this, because there's a lot of actually the role that I do is kind of a mentorship role. And there's a lot of very good things that come out of this. One of the students that he went on, he's a junior in high school now, and he had to step away from D&D, unfortunately, because he's like busy with getting ready for high school and college stuff. And we had a discussion. He wants to do sciences, and my background's in sciences. And so we had a nice like 20-minute discussion about like, okay, well, what are things that, this is what I want to do. I want to also be able to have a life and live and have food and money. Like what's the path I need to take? Okay, I help you with that.
Necessities.
I love that.
Yes.
Wizard Master, I command you, back away.
It gets really nerdy, guys. I'm going to tell you, it gets really nerdy.
That's fine. Maybe we'll play live one day. Once we get
in case anyone's looking, it's through, you go on to outschool.com and it's through RPG Club. So that's
fun. Yeah. All right. So before I give you guys my social, just like Agatha all along, 2 more episodes. I need some answers. Yeah, like 1.5, honestly. Give me answers by season 5, by episode 5, please. You can find me at RickyZ_social on Instagram and Twix and TikTok. Twix.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yes. Shut up to Mikey. Tamon, lead us out.
I'm Tamon.
I'm Ricky Z.
I'm Lucio.
And we are Geeking
out. Oh, we did it good, guys. That was pretty good.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.